Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. Ugh. Miguel, hola. Good evening, everybody. We have a special treat for you on tonight. Uh, Clarence, good afternoon. Invite your teams on. Everybody on. We have a powerhouse for you tonight. We have one of our very own, one of our top leaders on the team. Hey, Nicole, good afternoon. I want to share my screen so y'all can see what's coming up. Chief Downey, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. So get your teams on. Hey, Samantha, Karen, it was so good to see you on this morning. I'm so glad you're back off of vacation. You're just enjoying yourself. Monica, $1 Million Johnson. We have a special treat for you tonight. We want to talk about the new economy and new levels of success. How we got started up. You know, we were up on a high at one point, and then our whole world came crashing back down. And how you can actually build a multi-million-dollar business in this industry. I call her my goddaughter. I love her. Man, when you hear her speak, you wait till this pandemic is over. She's gonna be in my pulpit talking to the women. Don't get scared of the pulpit, because you can preach anywhere. So if she want to preach on the floor or preach in the pulpit or preach in the back office, I don't care what she doing. The girl is powerful and anointed. If you hear her story, where she came from, what she's been doing and everything, make me want to go put on some red lipstick now. I was like, I didn't put it on this go round, but let me go get that lipstick. Put it on. But guys, share the feed. We want everybody on. We want you to share the feed. We're going to show you how to build a business and create another 6-7 figures trading and starting with nothing, being broke down to nothing and rebuilding it all together. So she's going to drop some good nuggets and stuff on the night. She's a top marketer. She's an inventor. She's a mother of 5. She's a wife, a military wife at that. So, you know, hats off to her, because she served in the military as well. If her husband was out physically there, she had to serve and go through her things back here. She'd take care of her kids. She's an anointed woman, a young woman at that. And she's had a lot of success in what she's been doing here lately, and even what she's done in the past. And I want to bring my girl up, my friend, my goddaughter, a very own Wanda Webb. Wanda.
Hey, hey, Dr.
I'm gonna put that red lipstick on.
Listen, I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
I'm gonna blot out for a minute and you just take it over, guys. This is Wanda. She's gonna give you her story, and she's gonna tell you how to build a multi-million-dollar business in this new economy. So Wanda, I'm gonna let you take it over from here. I'm gonna put that red lipstick on, and then we'll come right back on.
I love it. Yes, I love it. All right, guys. Hey, shout out to all of you watching me. Hey, listen. Okay, so first, before we get started, I don't believe in coincidence. I don't think that there's such thing as coincidence. I don't believe that you're just seeing this because you're endlessly scrolling. I believe that this is a divine appointment, even if you don't think you scheduled it. And so, if you can hear me and if you can see me, and if you believe in creating a wealth choice for yourself and the people around you, I want you to share this, okay? I want you to go on the internet. I want you to hit the share button. I want you to hit the watch party button. And I just want to share my story. And I want to talk to you. Yeah, you watching me right here. Let me turn this device off. I want to talk to you about a wealth choice. A conversation about a wealth choice. So a little bit about me. My name is Wanda Webb. I have a beautiful family, an amazing husband. I feel like that is my true treasures on earth. And about 12, 13 years ago, I picked up a book. Really got it from a friend of a friend. And I recognized the title because I had seen a TV show, a talk show host talking about this book. And I thought, oh, wow, I just heard about this. And I picked it up and they said, oh, I read that, but you know, you can have it. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. And they said, it's for people who want to make money, but you got to have money already. It's like for those kind of people. And in my head, I still was just so excited about a free book that I don't think I heard that part. And I just was like, okay, I'll still read it. And I read it. And it's so crazy because when I read that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I didn't see that it was advice or strategy for people who already had money. I saw that it was strategy for anyone who uses money, who deals with money, who works for money, who has transactions that include money, for anyone. And so that was the book that first put the seed into my head that said, you need to look for ways to make money that do not include you physically being there. Now, my career, what I went to school to become is nursing. I went to become a nurse and I loved that. It was a beautiful experience. I loved being a nurse, but I love being a mama more. And mamas on the line, mothers that have to work, it's just not, the world just is not trying to create easy options for you. I have so many of my girlfriends right now that are having to figure out, how do I work full time, but the schools are closed and the daycares won't take them unless I'm essential. And even when they do, that's an extra $500 a week for 2 kids, 6, 7, if you get past that. How is this supposed to be possible that I can work during this? And I've seen so many frustrated mothers talking about, no one is thinking about us. No one cares. They're not even trying to create options that are feasible for us. Here's the thing, guys. That's the way it's been. That was the way it was for your grandmothers and for your mothers and for us. And yes, I believe we got to change that. And I believe we are going to change that because we're not just going to sit back and be frustrated. However, I also believe that we can get creative if those changes don't happen fast enough. And for me, that's what I had to do. I was a nurse and I loved being a nurse, but it was my son's 4th birthday party that I couldn't be at. That was the straw. That was the one, because I ordered the Spider-Man cake and I did all the things Mama does to make the day magical, except be there. And do you think he cared about the Spider-Man cake? Not as much had I been there. And for me, that was my moment that said, okay, I remember that book I read and it talked about how becoming an employee was honorable and it was a great way to add to your society. But if you are looking to become wealthy, it is the hardest way to become wealthy. And my husband and I we were looking to buy real estate. So we were kind of doing that and buying houses that none of us would ever live in, but we believe we can make them pretty enough to rent out. That went well. And it was 7.5 years ago that someone introduced me to this industry. And I wasn't looking for it, but I believe that I was already in a place where I was primed and ready for opportunity. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so I had a family member who said, hey, I'm with a company and it's amazing and it's fun. And if you tell people about it, they pay you. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. Because I talk about a lot of things with my friends and they don't ever pay me. Some of you wondering what lipstick I'm wearing. It doesn't matter. They ain't gonna pay me if I tell you. And so I just kind of open-minded to that world. And it was that world ultimately that led me to a really pivotal conversation 2.5 years ago. So let me set the mood, okay? I'm sitting with one of my girlfriends, a 6-figure woman also, and we're complaining. Can you believe it? We're complaining because we both just had a really dynamic year in the world of travel. But we're complaining because that world is about to change and travel is not as commissionable as it used to be. And the company we're partnered with expanding that is having their own problems. So we're looking at each other like, oh, snap. Okay, easy. All you got to do is go replace that income. Not a big deal. So we're both looking at each other and we're like, all right, friend, what ideas do you have to go make $10,000, $20,000 a month? And she's like, I don't got any. What ideas do you got? $20,000 a month. And I was like, I don't got any. And I said, okay, listen, you find some stuff. I'll find some stuff. We've got each other's back. And I really hope that you have people like that in your life first. Okay. Because I know where my true treasures are. Mm-hmm. However, I proud to become the first 7-figure earner out of my family. And my husband is the first 7-figure earner out of his family. And so there are some lessons here. First, we had to change our network. I love my family. I adore my family. I adore my friends. Where I come from, I still go back home and I love being home. But they may not have the blueprint I need to help me get to my journey, my 7-figure journey, my wealth journey. They don't have that blueprint. That's okay. That's not a dig on their moral character. That's not saying they're less valuable. They just don't got the map. Okay. So the first thing, you got to radically change your network. If you're listening to my voice right now and you're thinking this can't be all I do, I just can't, ain't no way I've been created to just get up and work. You're right. Now, what are we going to do about it? The first thing you have to do is you got to understand that you got to get around the right people. You have to have a different network of people. It is okay for you to say, you know what? I see a group of successful people over here. Let me go be nosy and ask some questions. I like the way she lives. I like her car. I like the way she carries herself. Let me get in that inbox and say, what do you do for money? Like, what do you do for money? You know, I've never been shy to ask people that because I understood I didn't have a blueprint. So I had to ask people, hey, what do you do for money? Right. And 2.5 years ago, when me and my girlfriend were coming together, putting our brains together, we came up with a lot of ideas. We came up with ideas to launch after school programs. And we came up with ideas to even now to talk about logistics companies and trucking. But when we left that conversation, she said, hey, Wanda, I just signed up for something. I haven't even really got to see what it is yet. I don't know, but I signed up for it and maybe you would like to do it. I don't know. I'll let you know if I make some money. And I was like, okay, well, what is it? And she's like, it's trading. It's trading. And I was like, okay, well, let me know how it works. And that was it. I didn't think we were going to talk about that ever again. And about a week later, she gets on the call and she goes, what are you doing tonight? And I said, I'm at the house. What's going on? You whispering? Do I need to go in the other room? My husband right here. What are we talking about? You know? And she said, listen, I want you to get on this webinar with me tonight. There's a woman out of Killeen, Texas. She's a pastor. She is teaching people how to trade. And I said, okay, trade what? And she said, see, that's why you need to get on this webinar. I was like, well, we traded, you know? And she said, just get on the webinar and listen. And I was like, okay. So I got on the webinar, but I'm gonna tell you what I did. Because unfortunately, when you come from lack, you're suspicious of everything.
Yeah.
And you know, we brag about it. Like, oh no, my discernment on point. Don't you dare grab that. Don't you dare, okay? Discernment is
I love her.
like, we're gonna have to admit we're just human. You can't be telling everyone, you know, I like to research before I do anything, you know, but we need to research the people we swiping left and right for on Tinder. That's what we need to research. Okay. Research that. We spend so much energy being suspicious of everything that we end up doing nothing in the end. And so I was suspicious, okay? Because I come from lack. I come from poverty. And if you come from that world too, you need to understand there's a way that you make decisions that's going to keep you in that world. Mm-hmm. All right? Ask any therapist. This is not just money talk. If you were born in lack, if you were raised in lack, it takes double the amount of years to unbrainwash you from lack. All right. So I understood where I was. I've been able to have a little growth to go, oh yeah, you were just suspicious. And I was suspicious. And what I did is I went to the chat box, Dr. K. You were talking and teaching and my silly butt, instead of looking at the money, I was so suspicious. I was looking in the chat box. And so I'm looking in the chat box. There's probably about 500 plus people in that chat box and they're typing faster than I can read. And all I could see is, thank you, Dr. K. I hit my profit. I hit my goal for the day. Thank you. Good night. Going to bed. This closes my week. I made my money. And I'm like, listen, I don't really know what everything is, but I know enough to say I think these people are really making money. And I got started that night, Dr. K. The second night, I was waiting all day. When's she going to go live again? When does she trade at 11 a.m.? Because it's now. And I didn't know anything. And you were, again, trading that night. And then you found out that there were a bunch of people from a little travel company that wasn't doing so good, that were looking for something different. And, you know, there was a lot of us. There was a lot of us that had dedicated a good amount of time to that concept. I really can't even complain. We had an amazing time doing that. We were blessed. We really learned so much. But there were a lot of us that were saying, what else is out there? Is there anything good left?
Yeah.
And when Dr. K found out that where all these people are coming from, and we said, well, we're looking for something. We've been doing something for a while now, and it didn't work out, and we're really looking. So what she did is she said, all right, well, I know I said I would trade at this hour, but I'm gonna trade at that hour, and I'm gonna trade at the next hour. And more people came, and then she traded at the next hour. And then I thought, oh, when does she sleep? Ever? Because all she was doing was helping this concept become familiar to all of us. And all of us that came in on that wave can say, we made money trading with Dr. K in the middle of the night. You know, no matter who you were, where you come from, why you were on those webinars, we were up together 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., again at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. And we were singing. And she said, you guys are going to see for yourself that Forex is real. And even though we were suspicious, and even though we were sometimes just not patient at all, I don't know how you dealt with us, you were steadfast, and you kept saying, you're gonna see that this is real. You're gonna see that this is real. My job is to show you that it's real. And guys, I'm gonna just be so transparent with y'all. I had no idea how desperately I needed a grown-up conversation about money. You know, and this is a woman that at that time I had multiple buildings and fourplexes and units, and like I had done something, but still, thank you, God, that there was another layer of conversation that I was about to be exposed to. Before I had lunch today, Dr. K, Bitcoin went up by 5-6%.
Oh, you know, I got paid.
Listen,
I've been having money sit in my Coinbase waiting on this for a month. And when it shot up, I didn't even trade the rest of the day.
So listen, I say that because when I say Bitcoin went up by 5%, there are people that hear me say that and they literally jump for joy. They cry, they're happy. Big things happened in homes today.
And gold last night. We have been talking about gold and silver. So this is the kind of conversations I have with Wanda.
And you know what? I'm quiet because my mentor told me rich people are loud, but Wanda people whisper. So, you know, the old Wanda wants to stunt a little bit. The old Wanda wants to tell you that she's got annual years of income put away in these different entities. That's what the old Wanda wants to do. But the new Wanda wants to just say, thank you, Lord. And, thank you, Dr. K. That's it. I crave for people. I crave for my communities, especially Dr. K, to start having adult conversations about money. Because when you really learn about how the dollar is so manipulated, yes, and how our families are working, they are giving their life over 40, 60 years, handing their lives over, and they can't even properly articulate what a dollar truly is and how it moves. People right now, today Bitcoin went up, the gold went up, silver went up. We know what that means for the dollar, but today people are clocking in like nothing happened, and they're going to work tomorrow like nothing happened, when they really should be saying, hey, hold on, I just found out that this dollar I'm working for is actually losing a little bit of value. What does that mean this week? What does that mean today? Right? And sometimes it does feel like we're talking about the Matrix. Like sometimes it feels like, are people ever going to listen? And what I want people to know is it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. This program has literally been designed with one question in mind. How do I reach all of them? How do I reach all of them? Yeah, there's some people, they've been having these conversations. I'm glad you're here. But how do I get to the back? How do I reach to the back? Those people that think that they should not have these conversations, that say, well, you don't know, I'm broke, I'm negative. It don't matter if you're double negative. You need to know what to do with even a penny. You need to know what to do with even $1. I've got friends that are so broke, Dr. K, all they can do is buy 1 ounce of silver a month. That still sets them better apart than most people.
Exactly. Because when I started and I was broke, I bought 1 gram of gold a month. to get started. So the whole point is as long as you get started. So buying 1 ounce of silver a month versus 1 gram of gold, as long as you buying it, you
Isn't it
started to,
powerful?
yes. You couldn't tell me I wasn't rich when I bought my first gram of gold and I was broke into 10 commandments. And I was so happy. I skipped that hair appointment so I could buy me a gram of gold.
So I know it's real. Here's the thing. You know, sometimes people will be closer than they realize to truth. Sometimes people, I had a girlfriend that was like, girl, I'm so excited. I'm about to buy this chain. And she goes, don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. I know you see you in a different zip code now, Wanda. You done forgot, but I'm about to get this chain. And I was like, no, sis, you don't understand. I'm proud of you because you're close.
Yeah.
You don't realize how close you know there's value. You just don't know how to articulate it yet. There's close. The only thing I want is I just don't want all the gold you own to be on your body. That's it.
Yeah.
I want something to be protected. I want something put away. And so I think sometimes, Dr. K, people are so much closer to this conversation than they give themselves credit for. You know, if you even have asked yourself mentally, man, I wonder what Bitcoin and crypto, like, I wonder what that whole life is all about. That is not just you being silly. That is an energy. That is your spirit saying, hey, come over here, come look. Pay attention to those clues. And it's been 2.5 years. Not only have I am a product of the product. I'm telling you, they didn't turn me into a geek around here. I love looking at charts. I love looking at money. My son, let me tell you. So my son, about a year ago, we started to agree that we would not pay him cash for chores. We would pay him Bitcoin, right?
Yes.
And so he got like $100 in Bitcoin, and we have it on where he could see it, right? And he'll be like, Mama, how's my Bitcoin? I'm like, chill, like it's good. You know, you can trust me. I'm a legitimate, source here. Like you're good. And yesterday, my husband, last night, we were up looking at the charts, and Randy goes, watch what happens tomorrow. Babe, watch what happens tomorrow in the morning. And so, we made a couple purchases last night, and my son overhears us, and Randy goes, man, this is about to break. We're going to get a new floor. This thing's about to impulse. My little 12-year-old son in the kitchen talking about, yes. I was like, yes.
You're talking about getting a new floor. My husband sent me pictures. We need to redo the bathroom and the kitchen. I was like, we're going to buy a house. We're going to buy another house.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a blessing. And so, I just really, my heart goes out to people who they hear us having these conversations, and then they may have that one little tiny bit of doubt, like, man, I don't know if I could really learn that. You guys are looking at one of the best, like literally. Which way? This way, right here. You guys are literally looking at one of the best to ever do it. And she's known. I mean, she's known in circles of people because she has been able to take this concept and meet her communities right where they are and say, it's okay. If you don't get it, I could teach you. Let me teach you. Let me put it in my terms. And that's what I needed. I need someone who was not trying to just, impress me with how much they knew or make me feel inadequate. I needed someone to pick my chin up and to say, no, you can learn this. It's simple. Let me show you a couple things. And that changed my life forever. I will never not trade. I will have charts popping up on my phone for the rest of my life. My children, my grandchildren will. Mm-hmm. They must. And now when I consider, so many of us are in a place where we may have to be schooling our own children, that put fear in me. But now I'm excited about it because my children, we're going to focus on two things, baby. It's the Bible and Forex. That's it.
All right.
We're going to learn the Bible and we're going to learn Forex, and we're going to have fun doing that. And I just want people to understand that they're so much closer to this conversation. They're so much closer to having success in this than they even could imagine. When I got started in this, I was intimidated. I didn't think I was going to last 30 days. Really. I was intimidated, but I was only intimidated because of the level of my ignorance. When I finally, that first video, what is Forex, that breakdown, I said, okay, that ain't that hard. I get that. Why didn't they say that in the beginning? That's how simple it was. And so I know you are constantly having this conversation with people. I know that this is such a big part of your ministry. And I also not to decay your heart. Like I see the people that you're teaching, and I see how much time you spend reaching reaching the people that maybe others think are unreachable.
Yeah.
You know, we may not get them through the front door, but we're going to get them through the back. Okay. And I just love that this conversation doesn't leave anyone out. And it's very real. If you know how to work Facebook, you should be working Forex. You know enough. And we believe in you. Maybe no one's ever told you. There's value in you. There's wealth in you. There's solutions and businesses and books and movements inside of you, living inside of you. And your job is during this lifetime to mine it all out like the precious gems that they are, to mine it out of you. Don't you dare leave this world letting everybody use you except you. Mine your value out of you. Get your value out of you. You want to be a speaker, go speak. You want to write a book, go write a book. You want to make money and be wealthy, go be wealthy. Don't you let anyone laugh at that. Go be wealthy. You want to be an investor, be an investor. I don't know what your bank account says today. That's just that don't matter. You know, whatever it is that you have inside of you that you want to do, I want to beg you to do it. I want to tell you that you should do it. Launch the brands, launch the companies, do it. We need it more than ever. We need new economies. We need new faces. We need it to look different. And so I tell everyone I meet, I know there is wealth inside of you. I just want to know if we have permission to dig it out. And don't let it fool you. We start with Forex, but Dr. K, I can't tell you how much I've learned about doing real estate differently because of Dr. Drew.
Yes.
I can't tell you how much, like just buying gold and silver. Like I know it sounds silly, but I was like, oh, you can do that? Like you can actually buy real gold. Like that's a thing. I didn't know, you know, and I'm constantly telling people that
oil wells,
but it just all types of opportunities to make money. There's a million ways to make a million. You just got to have those conversations. And 2.5 years ago, when I was leaving one concept and I didn't know if I would ever find myself in anything else, I thought I had disrupted my wealth pattern. I really even was thinking like, what did I do wrong? And little do I know, I was doing everything right. And it wasn't punishment, it was promotion. This company has done everything they said they would do and more. They are constantly under-delivering and under-promising and over-delivering. And I didn't know if I had it in me to share anything again. But what Forex did for my family, it was just impossible for me not to talk about it. I mean,
and on top of that, though, Wanda, with you learning Forex and it changed your whole income, it changed your life and everything. Not only did it do that, it caused you to have 2 streams of income.
Absolutely. Because once I realized, okay, this is real. People are actually trading for profit. Like this money goes to your bank account. Okay. Mm-hmm. Once I understood that, and it only took me about a week for me to really make that come to life for myself. But once I experienced that, I literally had 0 reasons to not share the concept. Okay. Mm-hmm. There are some people that say, you know, I don't do those things where, you know, like you refer a friend and you get paid. All right, cool. Well, then just don't get paid. Send me your commissions, but keep telling people about Forex because it's real.
Yeah.
You know, that to me, if it's real, if you are actively making money in the market, why are you not telling people, yeah, that's real? You know, I had a gentleman today I was talking to, and he's like, I've been looking for this. I've been looking for a way to really learn this. And I just want to know if you really make money. That's it. I told him, I was like, all right, I'm going to say something kind of funny, but it's really true. If you still don't believe that people are making money in Forex, you have trust issues. Because at this point, it's obvious. It's everywhere. You can literally start a brokerage account for yourself right now for free, and you can be in a trade today. Hopefully you get your information from the right place. And so what I like to tell people is if Forex was to pay you, would you tell someone? What would that sound like? You know, for me, it was screenshot send to my sister, screenshot send to my mom, send to my friends. These are my friends. Look what I did. What's that? Money. You know, let me show you, download MetaTrader. Let me show you something real quick. It's a free app. You know, that was my conversation. Mm-hmm. And, you know, Dr. K, I did network marketing before, and honestly, it was 99% positive. I can't really complain. The only thing I didn't know is this industry really, really pays. I didn't know how much other people were getting paid in network marketing. I was like, okay, all right. I thought I was making big money. I was doing 5 figures a month. That was cute. And then I came here and I honestly thought that I was misunderstanding the compensation plan. I said, no, 5,000 customers is 100 grand a month. Okay, that can't be right. So, hey, I think you guys put the comma in the wrong place. Can you send me the real comp plan? They're like, yeah, sure. I'll send you it just in case that's outdated. All right, let me look at the new one. It says the same thing. And I got on the phone. I actually called. The first person I called was Jazz Williams. And I was like, hey, you earning a residual check from this company yet? He's like, yeah. I was like, you getting it? And he laughed at me. He was like, what are you on? Like, what is wrong with you? Laughing at me. I was like, man, I done been through some things. Okay, excuse me. And he's like, no, every Friday. It's actually, they pay you weekly. It's divided by 4 and you get a check every Friday. And I was like, all right. And that's when I said, listen, if I'm able to understand this and make money in Forex, maybe there's someone in my phone that can. And I didn't know how big this would get. I didn't even know who would listen to me. But what I knew was the only thing I needed to know was I was telling my truth.
Yes.
And I figured as long as I led with my truth, what could go wrong? And so that's what happened. In 60 days, we hit the rank of chairman. Dr. K was a huge part of that. While we were on the phones knocking out webinars, she was a one-woman Forex factory training up. Train. And we had it going. I'm like, all right, Dr. K, we doing presentations. And then what time you getting on? Because we put on them all to you. And we jump on, flood her overviews, watch her live train. And that was all she wrote. That's all they needed to see. She would say, buy GJ, sell EJ. And they would do what she said for 10 pips. She taught them. It was like a well-oiled machine. Over 500 customers joined us in 60 days. Like, no gimmicks, not even a sponsored ad on Facebook or nothing. Just good old, hey, come see this. And over 500 customers joined us, 500 beautiful families that are learning Forex now. And we hit the rank of Chairman 10, which is a minimum of $10,000 a month in residual income. And then I think my husband and I looked at each other like, hold up. Okay, it took us 5.5 years to get there in our last concept. We just had this happen in 60 days. What's going on? And what we realized was people wanted to learn the skill set. It wasn't as weird as we thought. People really wanted to be here. As long as they knew they could trust us and we would show them where to find the information, they were more than happy to be here. Every day waking up to text messages, look at my first trade, look what I did, look what I earned yesterday. Oh my gosh, I'm on Dr. K's live now. It's amazing. And that excitement continued to propel. We ended up hitting Chairman 25, which means that the company pays us a minimum of $25,000 a month. Listen, I live off a very small part of that, okay? Because we're busy investing the rest. And now, not only can I do that, but now I even know what to invest in. Like, I need you to understand how powerful that is. Not only did this company show me what to do, then they gave me the money to do it. They showed me what to do.
That's the best part.
And then said, here's the money to do it. Here's how you get the money to make sure you can be a dynamic trader. And Dr. K, we really believe in not enticing people. So we don't put a lot of our information out on the internet. But in those chairman chats, we share whatever we want with each other. In our chairman chats, we're allowed to we're allowed to stunt. We're allowed to show income in those private chairman chats. And every time I log into those private chairman chats and I see what over 400 other families, because it ain't just us making money.
Yeah.
There's almost over 400 people making a minimum of $10,000 a month in this company. And to see what these families are able to do from Canada to Africa, what they're able to do with this money. And how they're able to invest it, because now they know how. Now they know what to do. Everybody won today. Everybody won today. I'm in the Chairman 25 chat like, oh, this is what y'all doing, huh? Okay, David, I see that. I gotta swipe this way to see the rest of the numbers on the screen. I'm blessed to have raised my network I am blessed to have been introduced to a concept that allowed me to raise my network. And it just keeps a fuel inside of me to keep going, because I know that if it can be done for me, it can be done for everyone, anyone. And so what a large part of what we do is not just make money by ourselves in Forex. That's easy. Anybody can do that. A large part of what we do is say, we're going to make money, and we're going to even take on the responsibility of helping new people understand what this should look like for them, create a plan, and win, period. Let's win. And so I think that's what really sets us apart from, really any opportunity I'm personally seeing out there in the marketplace right now, is that our customers can make money. Right. And then those satisfied customers, they don't need a sneaky script or a 3-step setup. They just need to say, hey, look what I did. This is what I did in the market, and it's working. We have all types of people winning. And I really just sit back in gratitude. And I'm so grateful, because 2.5 years ago, I honestly thought for a split second, what are they trying to get from me? As foolish as it sounds, that's my truth. I really was thinking, what are they trying to get from me? Not knowing it had nothing to do with that. Everything to do with, if I were to humble myself and just listen, they were really trying to give me something. And it's completely changed my life, Dr. K. Like, just the information that I've been given in this company has made it almost impossible for me not to just continue winning every single year. We're 100% debt free. We don't own a man any dollar. We own everything we have.
Come on, Wanda.
Growing assets. We have hard assets growing. We have properties that we are pouring money into, pulling lots of money out, repeat. We're doing that. We just are in a growing season. And I don't want anyone to hear this and be like, wow, it must be nice for you. Because trust me, I paid my dues. Dr. K will tell you, right? I was the military wife. That was so broke. And I was employed 8 months out of the year. I was working a job and going to nursing school and had babies and taking care of my father-in-law. In fact, Dr. K, we're selling a house now in West Texas. That was our first home we bought together when my husband was in the Air Force. And we're selling that house. We've been able to, thank God, pull out a great amount of rent from it. And now it's about time to fix it up a little bit and sell it before any deferred maintenance kind of gets out of hand. So we were out there in Abilene, Texas. Whew. It's so country. I love that place. But
I've been through there.
My husband says, what do you feel like having for lunch? We got the kids. I'm like, let's just get something quick, some Chipotle. And we go to sit outside, and we're sitting outside of Chipotle, and across the street is a little DriveThru Chicken place, right? And I had totally forgotten about this moment, but I see that little DriveThru Chicken place, and I'm watching the cars go through, and I go, oh my gosh, I remember having a moment in that DriveThru Chicken spot. I had just picked up my son from daycare. I was about to drop him off at my friend's house because I had to go from school to work, and I had just enough time to pick him up, pack him, get him something to eat, and take him to my girlfriend's house before I was going to be late to work. Okay. You got no help. You glue together babysitters when you're in this situation. And my baby's hungry. He's in the back seat. And I'm thinking, darn it, like, I don't have time for this. Let me go through the drive-thru. I probably got $10 in cash in me. And I'm like, let me just go through the drive-thru. You like give me a little chicken strip meal or something, and we could split it. And I go through the drive-thru, and their little lights are broke. So I'm like, man, I need to really see what these prices are like. Yeah.
I'm on a budget.
A mega budget. And I order a chicken street meal, and I go on my wallet, and I didn't have $10 like I thought. I had like $8. And the guy's like, all right, that'll be 11 something, 12. But I just remember it being more than what I had. And I didn't even drive it to the window. I was so embarrassed. I just drove off right there from that speaker. Aww. And I just, God, you're so good to show me how it all makes sense now. But I remember dropping my kid off, and I literally remember Dr. K, because we had talked about having more kids. And I remember thinking, I don't even have enough money to grab my little cheap meal out of a drive-thru. What am I going to do if I have more than one kid? How are we going to afford this? And at the time, Randy's like doing crazy amounts of deployments, and we're we're just a good family trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And I sat there at Chipotle yesterday, and now we're in that town flipping houses with more than enough coming in. Now I'm the person that if someone else was to have that moment in front of me without second thought, I could help them and give them more than enough and even leave them with a gift. But to know, the reason I can have that moment, Dr. K, is because my family made a wealth decision.
Yes.
We literally had a day where me and my husband came together and said, that's it. I'm sick of this. I'm done. I'm done being broke. I don't care. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to figure this game out. We're going to do something. I will not be broke again. I cannot. I'm so tired of this.
Yes.
We just got to a place where we said, whatever it takes, as long as it honors God and our last name, whatever it takes, we will be wealthy. We will have more than enough. We'll figure it out. I'll read all the books. I'll go to all the seminars. I'll do it, whatever it takes. And then when I finally figure it out, I'm going to come back and break it down for people, because I really wish somebody could break it down for me right now. And this has been 12 years that we've been on our wealth journey. So I don't want anyone to think it's overnight or that
it don't happen overnight.
But this opportunity has been so rare because out of anything I've ever done, and we've been able to make money in many things. However, nothing has had a low barrier of entry and as massive of results. Nothing. When people talk to me about, oh, I want to do real estate, I'm like, you got $50,000 liquid cash before we even waste our breath right now?
Exactly.
When they say, oh, I have inventions I want to launch, I'm like, all right, who's your team? You're going to need some inventors, and what's your relationships with manufacturers in Asia? Because that's what you're going to need. Like when people tell me these grand ideas, here's what I know: it takes capital to back it all. And so unless you got to have a decision made where you understand that it takes work, you're going to have to go look for something that works for your family, and you're going to have to apply yourself. And for me, here's what I know. A lot of people are not in a position to overextend themselves.
One thing I know too is if you have Forex backing your whatever it is that you want to do, you don't have that pressure of I borrowed this money and I got to pay it back. You can't focus on that. Because like Wanda said, she built up extra residual income in order to do it. And it didn't happen overnight. And I was in the same boat that you were in. It took me, I missed the move in 2008. It was introduced to me in 2006. It took 10 years for that season to come back to me again. So I struggled for 10 years. So it took me 14 years to get to where I'm at right now.
And now that I know this, Dr. K, it's one of the things that blows my mind. The world goes on sale every 10 years. Okay?
Yep.
That's what's happening right now. And you guys
I like that. The world goes on sale.
I'm not don't at me. You'll see. Give it 10 years. The world goes on sale every 10 years. In the next 24 months, what happened today in the market this morning that excited so many investors is going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to move in that direction. And what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to go, well, Wanda, I didn't have the money to invest in 2020. I didn't have the money. I get it. You might be in a place where you need to focus on creating cash flow, paying off your debt, and then positioning yourself for 2030. Okay? Mm-hmm. Because the world goes on sale every 10 years. What's happening with gold and silver, and they're increasing, the dollar weakening, things going on sale, that'll happen again. And so maybe you feel you're just too far gone right now. I don't believe that for anyone. I've seen what residual income can do. But even if you believe that, what are you going to do in the next 9.5 years so that when all this happens again, this time you're ready, cash in? And so I think the conversation is it's multifaceted, but what we have to understand is, one, you got to radically change your network. If you're broke and you don't like what you see when you look around, friend, change your network, okay? 2, you've got to make a wealth choice. You've got to have your day where you sit with your family, with your significant other. Maybe it's just you and your God, and you say, I'm done. It ends now. I'm done with poverty. I will not entertain it anymore. I will eradicate it from my life. I'm done. So changing up your network, being serious about a wealth choice. And then you need education. That's it. Okay. You need education. Someone, you gotta be in an environment where people are constantly learning, because the learners of this world will inherit the riches. It's the people who can adapt. It's the businesses that said, can't open my doors, boop, going online with the quickness, that are now reaping those benefits. Zoom stock went up by 175%. Why? Because everyone needed to shift their businesses. So it's the platforms, it's the concept, it's the people that are willing to take quick shifts that really reap the reward. And that might sound overwhelming to you, but I promise you, here's what I've learned. You are so much closer than you think. You're so close to your situation, you feel like you're far gone. You feel like, oh, you don't know how much debt I'm in, Wanda. Wanda, you don't know how much I owe, or you don't know my job, $9 an hour. There's no way out.
You don't need to know how much you owe.
You
You already know. It don't matter how much you owe. This will help bring you out. You just got to change your circle.
Cash flow. I'm telling you. And Dr. K, I could just talk to you forever. Like I spend so much of my time just trying to make this make sense for people. Like, hey, let me ask you some leading questions, And so when we get a chance to kind of just have us and our experience and really talk about it, it's a delight, because I know when I say certain things that the weight of what I'm saying, because your life has been really changed and blessed also. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I really wish I could just take it out of me and just put it into people so they could feel for half a second how real this is. But I'm really grateful. You taught me that our business partner is the spirit of truth, and that as long as we continue to tell our truth and our intentions are pure, that the spirit of truth will do his work in people, and he will let them know, hey, this is the one. And so if you're watching this, and if it makes sense, if there's anything that we're talking about that you're thinking, yeah, I need more of that, Dr. K is the perfect mentor. She's my mentor. She's the woman who, listen, she's the one that taught me it ain't cute to be a trophy wife with no trophies.
Okay.
Where's your trophies? And so she's allowed me to see, like, you can be a hardworking, God-fearing woman, raise your children, love your families, and still be massively and dynamically powerful when it comes to understanding money. We talk about the Proverbs 31. And I used to talk about Proverbs 31 woman, like, look at how much she did, because that's how I was taught to see it. Like, wow, she did so much, and she worked so hard. And Dr. K, I remember us talking about that. You're like, when I see Proverbs 31, I'm reading about an investor. Go read that again. And I remember reading that with that seed in my head, like, okay, investor. And I'm like, wait, she trades. She
wasn't just a housewife. She didn't just sit there and clean and cook.
She had
maids. Yeah. She had chefs. She had caretakers, caregivers, and she gathered all her things and she went in the market and traded. And that's why I told my husband, I said, hey, I need a housekeeper. We already got somebody coming to do the lawn. I need somebody to watch these kids who, only have one left at the time. And I got to get in the market. So I didn't physically leave the house. I came out of one room, came in here, locked the door. I got my cable TV. I got all my clocks. I got my big screen, little screen. I got my lights. And I sit here literally all day and I trade. And when you was talking about how you're having the conversations in the chat, I remember Jason Brown hopped on and said, hey, he's getting ready to hop on. And he dropped some nuggets about Bitcoin. And for those that didn't catch it, got a chance to catch the rest of it a little later, because that's what I like about it. Chairman 750 came back down to everybody else's level that didn't get that conversation in the chat because, they weren't at the chairman status. He said, hey, we got to make sure everybody eat. Hop on the Zoom real quick. And Brandon Boyd put it out there. We hopped on, and I had my team to hop on, the rest of the team to hop on, and they were so appreciative.
Yes. People's mortgages were paid off these moves. So I just want you to hear this, guys, and for you to ask yourself, what does my network look like, and could I afford to change it up a little bit? I feel like you can't afford not to. Dr. K, I just appreciate you so much. I mean, forever and ever, I tell people, I'm so lucky that my money mentor is also could be my spiritual mentor, because where do they do that at? And
True.
and I also have the privilege of having someone who knows what it's like to be a mother and a wife and want to have her own businesses. And I'm so grateful that you are just a season ahead of me, because I'm coming for everything. And you've been such a good example on really how to conduct myself and, how to use this for all the right reasons. And so I'm so grateful for you, Dr. K. Thank you so much for all you do for the platform. Still, like, after all this time, still one of the top educators in the company, always giving of yourself, constantly the person that's making sure everyone gets what they came for. And so I would not be where I'm at without you. My organization would not be even here. This conversation would never be here if it wasn't for how much you were giving of yourself. And to think I'm here because my girlfriend's girlfriend,
Catherine is watching too.
cutting someone's hair, who happened to get on a call, and she put it on speakerphone so she could get her hair done. And that happened to resonate with someone who knew me because of a haircut and because of speakerphone. My family will never have to look back. My family will never have to look back because of a haircut and some speakerphone. Listen, that just shows God's grace. That just shows that every prayer I was praying, even though I felt abandoned and ignored, that he was listening. And I'm just grateful. I can't even tell you, because I don't think anyone in the world would have ever reached down to my husband and I and said, no, you guys can learn this. Come on, you're going to learn it. Get up. It ain't time to sleep. Get up. You got something to learn. And so I'm so grateful for you, Dr. K. I appreciate you. I hope the people that are in your network understand how close they are to a legend, to a great. And you really are just so humble, and you keep God first in everything. I know it embarrasses you when I edify you, but I just have to tell you how much of a blessing that you've been to me, how much an example you are. I want everything you have. I want your steamy marriage. I want your passion. I want your following. I want the love people have for you. I want the favor of God that you have. I want all of that. And so I'm following you. I'm excited. And I really honestly feel like I have tremendous favor in my life just because I know you. So I thank you for everything.
Oh, thank you, Wanda. I love you so much. Guys, show Wanda some love in the chats. She poured her heart out. She gave you her story. And guys, get back with the person that invited you to this call. We're just looking on your plate to make sure that you have more than enough. We're not looking to see how much you got, but we don't want you to miss this opportunity in this new economy, because we grabbed a hold this time. I told you I missed it the first time back in 2006. It took me 10 years to get it back, and we got it back. Works has been around for 2016 years. 2016 years. We don't sell you anything. We're just making sure that you have more than enough. And Wanda knows that I pulled back from educating so much on IMLTP because I knew what season we were in, to make sure that my team had more than enough, because we've been here. Right. In 2016, when they first signed up, I told them, hey, we're going into this season and it's going to get a little harder. But this is the first time that the economy has not dictated to my house. This is a $7.7 trillion a day industry. Money is growing, but the economy is, having issues right now. So this world has been here before. Like she said, every 7 to 10 years we hit this cycle again. And the world has been here before, but you haven't. Right. And so we want to make sure that you're able to get through it. Wanda, thank you so much for your time, my baby. I love you guys. And I appreciate everything that you're doing and all that you're doing for the team. And guys, if you're looking to start a home-based business within your house, get back with the person that signed you up or brought you onto their watch party. Get back with that person. Get back to them. You got 5 months in this year. We went into January 2020 with clear vision, and all hell broke loose. So now you got 5 months left in this year to make a change. Thank you, and happy belated birthday, Catherine. I saw one of the first real estate investment guys that I first bought property from. David Anderson was on. Thank you so much, David. He's the guy that helped me get my real estate investment properties. Dr. Jewel also played a big part in that. So, guys, we want you to get back with the person that invited you on. And for everybody else, you guys, Randy Webb, you're next. I got to get you on for the guys. So, guys, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You guys.